and welcome to Nashoba Now. I'm Michael Wood, Superintendent of Schools for Nashoba Regional School District. In the next half hour, I hope to share with you the things that are going on now in Nashoba. Hello, I'm Michael Wood, Superintendent of Schools. This is Nashoba Now. It's September, which means school has started and the buses are rolling. So we appreciate everything you have done as the parents and the community members who have helped us get the school year off to a great start. We have wonderful new staff who have joined us from lots of different places across the Commonwealth and in fact across the United States. And so we are welcoming them through many different orientation opportunities for them to get to know our curriculum and our expectations and learning a lot about what Nashoba holds near and dear to its heart and it believes about education for kids. So that's been going on. School has started. Our classes are going. Kindergarten is in full swing now, as is preschool. So the school year is definitely up to snuff as far as we're concerned, and we're very appreciative of everything everyone has done to make it a great success. We have capital projects that were done this summer that are still lingering in some way, shape or another, and so we want to take a few minutes just to make people aware that they want to take some cautions. At our high school, we had some work done on the front walkway to the entrance to the high school. That should have cured by now and obviously is safe to walk on. And so if you see an orange cone, that's just noting that it has been worked on. We are also working on the roof at the high school. You may recall during our budget process last year and the building of our capital plan for our 5-year plan, we had noted that we're looking at the roofs of the schools, and the high school roof, just that section over the guidance area right in the front and just behind that, which is the graphics arts classrooms and a piece of the cafeteria. We're working on that roof right now, and so that work will be going on for the next few weeks. We're glad to say that a major road repair at Hale Middle School is completed. The timing was tough. It was right at the beginning of the school year, but due to contracting issues by the town of Stowe, who has been working with us on that project, it just took a while to get it to full implementation. We are also working on our card reader at Center School. We have a new card reader system there. We've had a number of elements of the finished product at the school, being a new school, give us some difficulty over the last year, sort of challenges to the elements of the new construction process. So that was one of them. We fixed that, and now all of the card readers for entry by our staff are identical across the district, which is great. Makes it easier on our end to make sure that our staff have the right badges to be able to get into the schools that they work in. We also finished a carpeting segment at Florence Sawyer School. This is part of an ongoing plan to replace flooring to make sure that it is clean and new and allergy-free. The next big project that we have for the district is to complete our district improvement plan for the upcoming school year. And just to give it some context, this is a plan that we use to base our current budget plan and our future budget work in developing. So the goals that we set out here are very important, and sometimes people want to know where do our items come for the budget, and we build a budget on an annual basis, and they come right from this particular plan and obviously the school improvement plans as well. So this is something that the school committee takes near and dear to their heart. It is a big part of their work. They spent some time back in June on it, and they'll be finishing it up and improving it this September. And so just to highlight a couple of things that we're working on, The STEM initiative that we're working on around our curriculum is very important. That's something we're working on. We work in collaboration with what the state has laid out in terms of its frameworks for the Commonwealth. They have not adopted them fully yet, but we are working with them as they are currently drafted and are prepared to make whatever minor changes they might make if they choose to do so before they're approved. But we have a committee of teachers and administrators looking at that document and aligning it to what we believe is best for kids as far as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So that work is ongoing. We'll be starting our work around global studies or social studies, if you will, looking at the components of the social studies curriculum that is in existence now. This is probably not going to be a major overhaul because the Commonwealth has not done anything to update the standards in social studies. But one of the key areas that I would like us to look at is this sense of, are we doing enough to teach our students about global awareness and the interactions among students across countries and cultures, and do we really help our kids to understand those differences and similarities around cultures and language and geography and political systems well enough to participate in a democratic society. So that will be the eye that we'll look at our curriculum as is currently written. We'll also look at the chronology of how we study social studies and history. Is it too truncated or too chunked out to make it sense for kids, and is it meaningful and informative to the process of understanding the full spectrum of U.S. history and world history the way we currently study it. Under operations and management, we're setting a couple of different goals. One of them is a major goal, and that is to look at our current space needs at our high school. We've been having a committee look at a lot of different data points around space use at the high school, everything from the number of students, the enrollment trends, the different uses of space at the high school to meet the needs of the curriculum. And that group continues to meet, and we're still in the data collection stage, but as part of that data collection, we have also looked at, well, what are some of the solutions that would meet the needs of our curriculum and certainly push our kids to be able to be academically challenged and get into the colleges that they want to get into or begin the careers that they would like to get into. And so some of those solutions are very basic. They're making additions to the building, making renovations to the existing building, or building a new high school. And so we've gone through the process of looking at how does that happen? How do you have any kind of construction at a high school in the 21st century? And a big part of that is understanding, working with the Massachusetts School Building Authority. And the MSBA, as they're commonly known, is a great partner. They have really reinvented themselves from the old School Building Authority of years ago, and they have high expectations for the way school districts will operate under which they will participate in any kind of renovation or addition or new construction that a district might be considering. And so we spent our last meeting going through their worksheet, their template for understanding space allotment and understanding the different kinds of rooms and spaces that the MSBA funds and does not fund if they were to work with us and if we were to decide that we needed some sort of construction at the high school. So that's an ongoing process right now, and that work is continuing. We have not found the right pieces of data to form a single recommendation. So there are probably going to be multiple recommendations that will go to the school committee, and the school committee will have to review that information and try to come up with a long-range plan over time that would address those needs. We are also continuing to look at the technology in the district and around the high school in particular and our middle schools. We are continuing building and supporting the infrastructure for our BYOD, our Bring Your Own Device initiative. It started off small last year, but this is something we're continuing to support. We have improved wireless access throughout the building at the high school and at all 3 middle schools, and that's key to bring your own device. We want to support mobile devices in learning. We think that's the direction that 21st century education is all about. It's about having the technology in your hands so that you can access the internet, so that you can access research, and that you can collaborate with your fellow students or your teachers in learning and creating new material. So while we understand that some students are hesitant and some families are hesitant to bring in their own personal devices, we hope over time we'll show that it's trustworthy to be able to do so. We're certainly making every effort to make sure mobile devices are available to classes that are using them a lot. And so we are definitely building a supply of technology available to teachers and students throughout the course of school days. So that's something that we are continuing to work on. It'll be included in our district improvement plan. We also know that with the next iteration of MCAS-like assessments that the state will have, they will primarily be given online. And so we need to have, by their direction, a certain level of mobile devices available, or at least technology available, so that students can take these assessments online and take the volume of assessments across the district from grades 3 through 12. So that's a piece of information that we've been working from in building our technology plan, which has been approved by the state and has been looked at for a long time over the last 3 or 4 years to make sure that we have these mobile devices in place. We also have work that's related to the technology in terms of collaboration efforts among our faculty and staff for teacher evaluation and for curriculum planning. And we have 2 initiatives that are connected through software. Baseline Edge is for the evaluation, and Rubicon Atlas is for our curriculum planning efforts. And both of those devices are robust pieces of software that allow teachers to collaborate to write from random access points and to come together and have units of study that can be shared across the high school or across the district for middle school and for elementary schools. That's very exciting work for our teachers because then it's a partnership and it's truly no longer a lone venture. It's working with others. The Baseline Edge tool that we are using also has a student data component that our teachers are very excited about, because what we're able to do there is share student data, share their students' data in real time, so that they can look at students as they perform on assessments in any given year and understand how their students are performing and get trend data that could help inform instruction. And that's been something we worked on last year to build and get ready, and we're almost ready to launch, and hopefully within the next 2 months we'll be launching that for our teachers. Family and community engagement is always important to schools. It's critical that we have families informed of what their students are doing. Part of the work that we've been doing on our websites has been getting our teachers to put up their curriculum, put up their syllabi, make sure that parents are informed of when big projects are due, so timelines and calendars, as well as other information that would help kids in the study of the current curriculum. And so that's a place where we've, again, put a lot of resources for our teachers. Training has been a big part of that, but also just trying to find out from parents what it is that they want to know, what is it they want on our websites has been a key part of that conversation, and teachers are doing, I think, a fine job of building the websites to be student-friendly as well as parent-friendly, because we want both to be using those. So that's a big part of our communication system from the schools. From the district perspective, communication comes out bi-weekly through, this year it'll come out through our school messenger service. These past few years I've been using our listserv, but realizing that that's not reaching as many of our parents, so we'll be starting to send out the bi-weekly reports that I give to the school committee. I'll be sending those out via email to broaden that audience and hopefully keep them much more informed, both about what's going on at the school committee level, but also about what's going on at the district level, so that parents can choose to come to a school committee meeting if they feel a topic is germane to what they're interested in, but also just keeping them informed of the sequence of events that might lead up to a big decision, such as a budget decision that the school committee will make. This is the period of time where a lot of conversations take place at school committee, and then we go into the budget process in January, and sometimes there's a sense of surprise by the communities that it's in the budget, and so we want to make sure parents are aware in advance that these are the times that we're having these conversations, and this is why the decision is coming forward in the budget process as well. We also use Twitter. All of our school principals have accounts. I have an account. That's used more intermittent for sort of flash news, what's happening in the moment. You know, I'm at a game or I'm at an event, and I'm tweeting out what's the current event in that particular game or that particular moment in time. It's not necessarily a place where I would say you would get a school cancellation notice or an important piece of information that way. But I do encourage community members and parents to follow me, follow their school principal, because I think that's increasingly becoming a place that people want to go to get information. The other part of the communication that is key is to make it a two-way street. We want your participation at places where we can hear your feedback and hear your sides of the story, as well as get ideas about how to move forward on solving some issues and answering some questions. One of the places that can happen is through the school council process, being a member there or attending those meetings. Obviously, attending school committee meetings is also key. There's always a communication period at the end of every one of our meetings, but also I think our committee has been very receptive to the idea of including members of the audience during the meeting process, so that it's a two-way street in terms of communication. We'll also be having more community forums in the next few months. We'll have a number of different topics that will be coming to light that are continuations of conversations that we've been having. One of them will be around the honor roll. We are trying to make sure that we have the same honor roll across our 3 middle schools, and one that has similarities going into the high school that's age and developmentally appropriate. So we'll be having a parent night in the next couple of weeks. Be looking for that date soon. We're also trying to get out more word around the conversations that we're having about substance abuse. These conversations are really critical. We think it's obviously an important topic for our kids to be hearing. We do have a couple of different events scheduled in the next 3 or 4 months. Chris Herron of Note is coming on January 14th. That's going to be a parent night. We really want parents to come out, hear his story, really understand some of the signs that they may be seeing within their own kids or their friends. And so that's an important event that we hope many parents will take advantage of. Our kids saw him last year. We're trying to have him back this year as well for our student body. And it was very well received, and I think a lot of people had a lot of mixed emotions about hearing what he had to offer. We also work with the Middlesex Youth Partnership. This is something out of the District Attorney's Office in Middlesex County that has been a collaborator with public schools in Middlesex County, and Stowe is part of Middlesex County, so we're able to take advantage of some of the events that they have throughout the course of the year. They provide a number of different resources for staff training, especially, that have been very helpful around drug and alcohol abuse. And they are working with us to help train our teachers to look for particular pieces of information, to look for signs within students' makeup and demeanor. And so that's been very helpful. Our high school just went through that type of training, and we're looking to get the same or similar type of available service to a parent night in October as well. We will also be continuing our conversation about early childhood learning. We know last year we had a lot of dialogue around the development of our kindergarten program and the evolution that we took last year into this year with half-day K being a part of the full-day program. Our first 2 days have been very smooth, very, I think, uneventful. We have some kinks that we need to work out, as we expected that we would, and we're very appreciative of the feedback that we're getting from parents about that, so that we can work through those scheduling issues, especially, that have come to light. The next area where we will want to have some deeper and longer conversations is about preschool education and how far we want to go as a district to provide preschool opportunities for students who are age 3 and 4. This has been a topic of the current governor for the last couple of years. We have a preschool program called an integrated preschool program. Its primarily objective is to provide services, special education services, to students with special needs. But to make it really effective, we have students go through a lottery process to be included as well. But if we are moving toward some sort of universal preschool, there's a lot of work that we would have to do to gear up to provide that kind of education for 3 and 4-year-olds. So there's a lot of conversation that has to take place there. I think that we definitely have to see where the Commonwealth is going, where maybe even the nation is going as a whole, before we even move with any decisions. But it's something that's on our horizon, and we certainly want to be sure to have those conversations. We're also going to continue the conversations around middle school and high school start times. More and more, there is data out there, research out there, that recognizes the need for adolescents to sleep later, to have longer blocks of sleeping times. So we're talking about that. Again, nothing that I think is going to inform or make any changes in the coming months or year, but it's definitely something that's out there that we want to pay attention to and make sure that we have some sort of response to it if the research becomes even stronger. I've talked about our professional culture, work that we're doing to collaborate more. That's our big push within our schools, within our educators' work time, is to make it available to collaborate more. And so they either can collaborate in the room together or online together in their own space. And so the more we look at software that our teachers use, it has to have a collaborative component to make sure that it's most effective. It's not that we don't value the individual, but we really value the time that individuals come together with their great ideas, and they can come together and they can collaborate and create something new together. The other things that are in the news for Nashoba right now, We've started our extended learning time in the mornings. That's been something that's been talked about for a number of years. We've just gone ahead and started it. Today was our first day, and we are hopeful that it will continue to grow. But it's definitely been impactful to our elementary schools and very much appreciated by our parents. So we're glad to be able to offer it. That's Nashoba Now. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to contact me, please email me at superintendent@nrsd.net. Have a good day.